Hello students, welcome to my channel VK Boys. Student, today I am going to discuss with you about the Boyle's law. What is Boyle's law? What he did and how he reached to his law. So first of all, what he did, student, he took a fixed mass of a gas and then he just increased the pressure on it. When he increased the pressure, he saw that the volume is decreasing. When he increased the pressure to the double, he saw that the volume became half. When he increased the pressure 4 times, the volume reduced to 1/4. So in this way, he observed that on increasing the pressure, volume is decreasing at a fixed temperature, at a constant temperature. So keeping the temperature constant, if the pressure is applied on the gas, in that case the volume of the gas decreases. From there he just gave his law, according to which, according to the statement of the Boyle's law, student, at a constant temperature, fixed mass of a gas, the volume of a fixed mass of a gas is inversely proportional to the pressure of the gas. That is, there is a reverse relation between the pressure and the volume. If you increase the pressure, volume will decrease. So that is the statement. But student, keep it in mind, at constant temperature, this is the condition. Temperature should remain same. Temperature should be constant. So Boyle's law is there at constant temperature. Boyle's law tells you the relationship between pressure and volume at constant temperature, and the relationship is reverse. Increase pressure, decrease volume. Volume is inversely proportional to the pressure. Now if you are having a gas and if you are having pressure P1, then its volume V1 will be like this. Student, if you are having volume pressure is P1, then volume V1 will be related with pressure like, according to Boyle's law, student, V1 is inversely proportional to P1. If I change proportionality into equality, then I will introduce a constant. So V1 is equal to K is a constant, P1. So that is there, student, 1 upon P1, sorry. So K 1 upon P1. If I just take P1 over here, then I will be getting P1 V1 is equal to K, which is constant. So the product of pressure and volume is constant. Again, if I increase the pressure, then the volume will become V2 and the relation will be V2 inversely proportional to P2, new pressure. So again you will be having V2 is equal to K 1 upon P2. So you will be having P2 V2 is equal to K. So using equation number 1 and equation number 2, you will be having P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2 is equal to K, which is equal to constant. So you can say the product of pressure and volume at constant temperature is constant. This is the second definition of Boyle's law. What is the second definition of Boyle's law, student? The product of pressure and volume at constant temperature is constant. So this is the second definition, second statement of Boyle's law. So that is there, student. You can prove it experimentally also with the help of a graph. So if you draw the graph between pressure and volume, and between volume and 1 upon pressure, or between pressure product of pressure, volume and pressure, then you will be getting the graph like this. If I draw the graph between volume and pressure, you can see the reverse relation is there. Then you will get the graph like this. If I draw volume in this along y-axis and pressure along x-axis, then as I will increase the pressure, I will see that there will be decrease in the volume. So graph will be like this, student. Now next graph is graph between V and 1 upon P. V and 1 upon P. The direct relation is there, 1 upon P. So you will be having graph like this. V in this direction, y axis, and 1 upon P along x axis. The graph will be a straight line like this. A linear graph you will be getting. Similarly, if you plot a graph between the product of pressure and volume, that means PV versus pressure. If you draw the graph, in that case, with the student, you will be getting a straight line parallel to pressure axis. A straight line will be there which is parallel to a pressure axis, student. So in this way, all these graph just verifies the Boyle's law, student. So graphically also the Boyle's law can be proved. So student, these graphs are also very important, and the statement is also very important. I hope you have understood all this. Student, how you will explain Boyle's law on the basis of kinetic theory of gases? कैसे आप Boyle's law को explain करोगे kinetic theory of gases के हिसाब से? So student, see, when you are having a fixed mass of a gas, in that case the average kinetic energy and the number of molecule of the gas will be the same. So same number of molecule and same average kinetic energy will be there if the mass is fixed. So what happens if you are suppose decreasing the volume? If you are decreasing the volume, what will be happening? You are decreasing the volume, which means the area of the container is also reduced. Now the area is, suppose you reduce the volume to half, suppose the area of the container is reduced to half. In that case the number of molecule is same. नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल जो वॉल्स के साथ कोलाइड करने वाले थे वो तो सेम है, लेकिन एरिया जो है वो आधा रह गया, हाफ रह गया. तो अब उतने ही मॉलिक्यूल कम एरिया के ऊपर कोलाइड कर रहे हैं, या आप इसको ऐसे कह सकते हो कि द नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स कोलाइडिंग पर यूनिट एरिया इज इंक्रीज्ड. नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स कोलाइडिंग पर यूनिट एरिया इज इंक्रीज्ड. Hence the pressure will also increase when you will decrease the volume. Reverse is also true. जब आप वॉल्यूम को इंक्रीज करोगे, आपने कंटेनर का एरिया बढ़ा दिया, नंबर ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल तो उतने ही हैं, अब वो ज्यादा बड़े एरिया के साथ कोलाइड कर रहे हैं. इसलिए क्या होगा? The number of molecules which are colliding with the wall of the container will decrease. Since the number of molecules colliding per unit area is decreased, hence the pressure will also decrease. So decrease in volume will be increase in pressure. Increase in volume will be decrease in pressure. This is nothing but Boyle's law. So in this way you can explain the Boyle's law according to kinetic theory of gases. Now student, I will discuss with you what is the significance of Boyle's law. Boyle's law की significance क्या है? You know student, when you go higher and higher on a high altitude, you know pressure is low and there is a relation between pressure and volume. If pressure is low, volume is high, more volume is there, that means the density will be less. So at higher altitude the density of the air is less, therefore the presence of oxygen, availability of the oxygen is less at the higher altitude. That is why mountaineers always carries oxygen cylinder with them. That is the significance of Boyle's law. One more thing is there student, you can ask a question that sir, when we just blow air in the balloon, in that case the volume is increasing and the pressure is also increases at the same time. So how it is possible? Is it not a violation of Boyle's law? So student, no, it is not the violation of Boyle's law. Why? Because when you are blowing the air inside the balloon, in that case the mass of the gas is not fixed, you are changing the mass also. So that is why, so when you are changing the mass, in that case you are increasing the number of molecules as well. So if you are increasing the number of molecules, so that is why both are increasing, pressure and volume both are increasing. That is not the violation of Boyle's law, student. Now student, I am going to discuss with you what is the relationship between volume and temperature. What is the relationship that I am going to discuss with you, student? To just establish the relationship, do an activity. Take a balloon, inflate it and put it in the sunshine. After some time you will see that the balloon will burst. Now the question is, why balloon burst? The answer is, with the increase in temperature, air expand, hence its volume increases. Due to increase in the volume, the balloon burst. So there is a direct relation between rise in temperature and volume. If you increase the temperature, volume also increase, but the condition is pressure should remain the same. At constant pressure, volume is directly proportional to temperature. This statement, this observation become the basis for the Charles law, student. So according to Charles law, what Charles law tells you? Charles law tells you how much volume will increase with the how much rise in temperature. He told you if you increase the temperature by 1 degree rise, then the volume will be increasing by 1 by 273 of the volume at the 0 degree. So that is the relationship. The statement tells you, according to Charles law, at a fixed pressure of a given mass of a gas, volume increases or decreases by 273 of volume of the gas at 0 degree with the increase or decrease of 1 degree temperature. So that is the statement of Charles law, student. Now if you just want to find the volume of a gas at a particular temperature, suppose you want to find the volume at 30 degree, 40 degree, you can calculate with the help of Charles law. Suppose you want to find the volume of the gas at T degree rise in temperature, then how you will find that? I am going to explain you, student. According to Charles law, then the volume will be V is equal to V naught. V naught is the volume at 0 degree plus 1 upon 273 of V naught into T. So that is there. T is the temperature, rise in temperature. How much temperature is increasing? If I solve it, I will be having V naught into 1 plus 1 upon 273 T. If I solve it further, I will be getting V naught into 273 plus T upon 273, taking LCM, I will be having like this. So again, if I take further solve it, I will be having V naught upon 273 into 273 plus T. Now this quantity is the temperature itself. This is the temperature. I will replace this by capital T, rise in temperature. So I will be having V naught V is equal to V naught by 273 plug into T. T is 273 into small t. So that will be there. Student, this quantity is a constant quantity. V naught upon 273 of a fixed mass is constant. So you are having V is equal to constant into T. Constant you can replace constant by K. So I am writing only here constant. So V is equal to constant into T. So you can write V is directly proportional to T. So this is the relation. V is directly proportional to T. So this is the second definition, second statement of Charles law, according to which keeping the pressure of a fixed mass of a gas constant, the volume of the gas increases with the increase in temperature. Volume is directly proportional to temperature. That is their student. Now if you are having, suppose you are having a gas, and if you increase the temperature first by T1 and then by T2, what will be the relationship? That I am going to discuss with you, student. So keep see over here on the board, student, see. So suppose if the temperature is suppose T1, in that case V1 directly proportional to T1. Similarly, if the temperature is T2, V2 directly proportional to T2. So from here, V1 is equal to K into T1. Similarly, from here, V2 is equal to K into T2. Or you can write V1 upon T1 is equal to K. Similarly, from here, V2 upon T2 is equal to K. Or you can write V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2 is equal to K is equal to constant. That means V1 V upon T is always constant, but the condition is pressure should remain constant. These equations are the equations of Charles' law. Charles' law's equation are V1 upon T1 is equal to V2 upon T2 is equal to K, which is equal to constant. So this is their student. Now what is the what we have discussed in the Charles' law? First we have defined how the volume will increase and how much volume will be increasing. You know, with the increase in 1 degree temperature, the volume will increase by 1 by 273 of the volume at 0 degree. First thing, and secondly we defined that the volume and temperature are directly related. When you increase the volume, when you increase the temperature, volume of the gas will also increase. But keep it in your mind, this is valid when the pressure is constant. Charles' law is valid at constant pressure. Its statement start itself with the first word you use is at constant pressure. Then you give the entire statement. So at constant pressure, Charles' law is valid. I hope up to this concept is clear to you. Student, now I am going to discuss with you about the graphical representation of Charles' law. How you will represent Charles' law graphically. You can plot a graph between volume and the temperature at constant pressure P. Now beta, this graph is known as isobar. Beta, bar, isobar mean the graph which is obtained at constant pressure. It can also be asked, what is isobar? Isobar is a graph which is plotted at constant pressure. So I am drawing one such graph over here, students. See carefully. If you are having a volume along y-axis and temperature along x-axis, you know, when I will increase the temperature, volume will go on increasing. Suppose this is the from here I am increasing the temperature, at the same time the volume is also increases. So if I decrease the temperature and if I extra plot this graph in the reverse direction, I will get a graph like this. This line will touch over here, and it is found that it touched the x-axis at the temperature minus 273 degree. At minus 273 degree, students, the temperature, at this temperature the volume reduced to 0, and this temperature is also known as absolute zero temperature. That temperature at which the volume of the gas reduces to 0, or you can see the motion of the molecule of the gas ceases or stop, is known as absolute zero temperature. So this type of graph you will be having. Here I have taken the pressure P over here. If I plot the same graph at different pressures, suppose one graph I plot at P1 pressure, one graph I plot, then again the graph, the value of pressure will, I will be getting the graph like this. Suppose one pressure is here, one pressure and other pressure is here, then again I will draw the graph. The end point will be the same, that means minus 273 degree. So if I draw various isobars at different pressures, then in that case you will be having the graph like this. So graph will be similar, but the only thing, it will start, sorry, it should be solid line up to here. The graph will start from higher or lower depending upon the how much volume it is increasing or decreasing. The graph will be same, only this much difference will be there, only there will be a change, that is their student. So this is the graphical representation of Charles' law. I hope you have understood whatever I have discussed with you up to now, and what is the significance of Charles law, students. Student, you know the balloons which is used for the moving in the sky, you know, that carries the hot air. Why the temperature of that air is increased? You know, with the increase in the temperature, volume increases, or you can say the density decreases. Since the density is less, therefore the balloon rise in the air. So that is why hot air balloons are used. Why hot air balloons are used? More is temperature, more is volume, less is the density. Due to less density, balloon rise up. That is why hot air balloons are used. So that is also due to the Charles law. Again, other significance of Charles law is the definition of absolute zero. Charles law also defines the absolute zero, as I have discussed with you. At minus 273 degree Celsius, the temperature, the volume of the gas becomes zero. So that temperature at which the molecular motion ceases is known as absolute zero. All these are the importance of Charles law. So today I will just finish over here. In the next lecture I will discuss more topics from study of gas law. I hope you have understood whatever I have discussed. Thank you for watching.